Okay, I'm doing a Jesus video, and this one is for churches too. It's for every church, Christian church out there, because the Christian church to me seems to have been weakened. There is a lack of real constitution. Well, maybe it's making a comeback with defying lockdowns and restoring freedom of religion, freedom of worship and assembly. You all right, buddy? You okay? But they kind of get weak. They never want to put up a fight. It seems like when it comes to, they want Christianity to be seen as the good guy's religion. They don't want to offend anybody, They want to be able to take it out. But that's not what Jesus did. Because, listen to this right here. Woe to you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites! For you are like whitewashed tombs, which outwardly appear beautiful, but within they are full of dead men's bones and all uncleanliness. So you also outwardly appear righteous to men, but within are full of hypocrisy and iniquity. So that right there, he's calling the Pharisees, the Jews, hypocrites straight to their faces, and telling them that they're like really fancy caskets that look beautiful on the outside, but then when you open up the casket on the inside, it's full of dead bones and all manner of uncleanliness, and that's what they are. That's what they remind Jesus of. Does that sound kind of like an insult to you? And if not, then let me prove it to you, because they're always trying to find a way to get him. And it talks a few times. I don't really feel like I have to find it, but to where the Jews get together, and because they've been so insulted, even though the truth has been spoken, they're so insulted by the way that it's presented to them in front of everybody. They take counsel on how to silence him. Even to the point where, man, we'd really like to get him, but when Jesus asked them where they think the baptism of John came from, do they believe that the baptism of John came from heaven or from men? And they take counsel together and they say, well, if we say that the baptism of John came from heaven, then he'll ask us why we didn't believe in it. And if we say that the baptism of John came from men, these people will stone us because they believe that John was a prophet. So there's this thing where the regular people, if you were sick, or a regular person, or you had it pretty good with Jesus, you're poor and sick, perfect. You got a bad demon problem inside of you, he's the guy. But if you're rich and powerful and connected, you're screwed with Jesus. He's going to insult you and by telling you exactly what he thinks. And it's going to be really hard, almost impossible to deny what he's so that's my point there with the Christian church. You got to be more like, you can't be afraid to call whatever it is what it is, if you're going to do what Jesus did. What would Jesus do? Kind of sheds a new light on that, don't you think? Oh, I don't know. So that's my point. I had another point that I was going to end this with, but I forgot it. Oh, I guess another point that I just remembered, I just thought of, Jesus already came, he already lived on the earth as the Son of God so that he could experience what it's like to be mortal and go through all the temptations and everything. and he was murdered, right? But he's coming back. That's the prophecy, that he's coming back, and when he comes back, he's going to be royally pissed, and he's going to have a sword, and he's going to bring war with him, and he's going to war with Satan and defeat him, right? Because he's that angry. So that's the kind of thing I think that maybe a church or whatever might want to think about a little more, is that to kind of focus on that. Like, you might want to start, like, that's a good reason to live up to the whole Jesus thing and the truth thing and speaking the truth to power and all that, because it's not that the person it's not like the believer has a right to like exact God's judgment, but I wouldn't be so afraid of it because it's only ever coming closer, right? Anyways.